Ben Johnson said this about rookie minicamp, and I like this. He didn't fluff us. He didn't come out and say, oh, well, this guy really made a great first impression on us, or the reps today that Trapillo got really goes a long way for his progress at left tackle. Ben Johnson just kept it honest today regarding what we're doing here at rookie minicamp.
We're not earning jobs here this springtime. What I would like to see offensively, it's not just for the O-line, but we're still trying to comprehend this system. There's a lot. We've taught a big picture view really over the last few weeks. We haven't even formally installed a specific play in a formation all at once yet. We'll do that once we get to OTAs. So there's a lot that's going on in everyone's head right now. We've been focused, particularly in that room, about our fundamentals. What does a triple look like when we're working with the tight end? What's it going to look like on a dry block? When we're pulling, what do we want that to look like? And so that's been our focus. I really don't want to get too much into depth of what that personnel is going to look like. We just simply don't know. We'll find that out when we get pads on. You can't climb the depth chart in the springtime, particularly on O-line and D-line, if we don't have the pads on.
I love that, and I love that he is putting the importance on pads, and he's not giving you like any sort of word salad. He's telling you, look, you can't climb the depth chart now. We're simply teaching how to run basic routes.
From 0 to 100, is the difference.
Between it's 100.
Yes,
it's not 99. It's not 98.
Between what you heard coming out of the previous staff and the previous head coach on any number of topics,
it just makes sense.
And the simple stuff that you hear now. Again, words don't win games. I get that, but this is different. This is different than Eberflus. This is different than Nagy. This is different than Trestman. This is different than pretty much everyone you've seen recent.
So here's my question to you, and on something I want to dig deeper. He says no one's climbing the depth chart in springtime. How do you believe you're going to climb the depth chart under Ben Johnson?
That you're going to be out there on a daily basis doing stuff the right way. And obviously those that perform best will find themselves at the top of the depth chart. Look, there are going to be certain guys, like Joe Tooney's going to start at left guard. Doesn't matter if the second-team left guard is playing really well in camp. That's Joe Tooney's job. Like, there will be starters, and some of the depth chart stuff is
who
motivational.
Else? Give me who else is
your interior offensive line is solid, and Darnell Wright is going to be your starting right tackle as well.
Unless he's left.
He's going to be a starter. Your quarterback is going to be number one on the chart. Look, Rome is going to be a starter. DJ is going to be a starter. Unless something strange happens on the defensive side of the ball, I don't think there's many jobs open. I think when he talks about the depth chart, I think it's less about where you're at on the depth chart and more about whether or not they trust you based on what you've done to actually play in a regular season game. So if you show us in training camp and in preseason that I can count on you, then guess what? Luther Burden III is going to get some of the reps that may have gone exclusively to DJ or to Rome Odunze. If you like what you see out of Colston Loveland, not only is he going to get the reps that he was designed to get, he may get some of Cole's. That's the way it's going to be with a new staff.
That will be an interesting thing to watch, the two tight ends. And if Loveland's progress will take away from Cole, or if it will just enhance more 12 personnel, two tight ends on the field.
Yeah, I think initially it's the latter, not the, at some point down the road are you going to replace Cole ultimately with Colston Loveland? Maybe, but I don't think that's the plan this year, or maybe even early next year. You look at Loveland, I saw him when I walked in, he was sitting down talking to someone. He truly looks like an 18-year-old kid physically. His face. And he just turned 21. He just looks so young. He's impressive physically, but you could tell he still has room to put 15, 20 pounds of muscle on. Now, you wouldn't do that to limit his athletic ability, but what you want to do is, look, he's never played a 17-game schedule. He's never played against a group that he's going to face every Sunday out there. Like, this game is different than even the game that he was playing in Michigan. So he's going to have to get bigger and a little bit stronger to do some stuff. But physically, you just look at him and you're like, wow, tall, rangy, very athletic. But he's going to have to put some girth on.
Yerk has really ripped the old coaching staff on this. We have talked about this. What I took from that, and I want to see it, I got to see it to believe it. Words are great, like we talked about. But Ben Johnson saying that too. I want to see every padded practice count.
Yes.
Like, I don't put on the pads and then do an easy practice. I know you can't hit like you guys hit, but put on the pads with purpose.
Yeah.
Put on the pads and put the guys to work. Play some real football. And then I don't know if you remember this. Ben Johnson said, it was either at the Combine or one of the press conference he did, that he loves the working with another team practice.
I've always said that was my favorite part of training camp.
But he said he may do it twice.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that that's the case because we know they get more work in those practices than they even do in the games.
And I've always said that I think, look, if you do it the right way, you've got to sit with the opposing coach and go, look, coach, we're putting the pads on and we're going to play. We're going to play hard. So if you guys are going to brother-in-law, it's not going to look right, and we're going to, this isn't going to work. But this is who we are and how we're approaching it. We want you to do it the same way. And if those coaches are on the same wavelength, it is tremendously beneficial. And I'm with you. I've always thought you get more out of those 2 days of joint practices than you ever will on that Saturday night preseason.
So do it with two opponents in the preseason. Do one at home, do one away.
Done.
And to me, that's a better use of your time.
No question. You do, though, again, you have to be on the same page with the other team.
Yes, of course.
It may be the Buffalo Bills or somebody who has had tremendous success, and they just run their program a little bit differently now based on where they are. You've got to find someone that is willing to orchestrate the practices in the manner that you're looking for as well.
All right.